But I really need to also get this little situation, this little charging cord that comes right up to the bottom side of the phone. I don't really have a way to prop my phone up in such a way to keep this thing from falling over. But I have some ideas, and I'm implementing them as we speak. And I think I have solved, maybe solved the solution. Presto. They call me MacGyver. No, it's funny. I made a little makeshift stand where the phone can sit up. It's sitting on top of my camper oven grill, and I have these little tubes, these marijuana tubes that I smoke, and placed in between. Right. In the center, there's a charging cord, and right on the left and right of it, I put these tubes, and the phone's sitting right there. The cable goes down below where the because right now the phone's sitting on a kitchen bar for the stove. It's a little bar that protects the stove. These little bars. Anyways, phone sitting on that. Behind it, there's a microwave, and so I have a pot, a pot plant between the microwave and the phone, and that's holding it up. Wow, that was a really intense description of how I'm setting up my phone. If you're joining me for the first time, I'm Lasso. This is Lasso's Passions. I usually do these either at midnight or earlier in the morning, but my day got away from me. I already got my breakfast in. I keep track of my breakfast as a vlog because I'm trying to grow my nutrition. I'm trying to have energy throughout the day, stamina and all that stuff. But I kind of messed up yesterday. Uh, Yesterday I pretty much cheated big time. I had two like apple fritters, lots of sugar. What else did I have? I had something. Oh, ice cream. I had vanilla ice cream. So I kind of cheated. I kind of got away from my diet, but I just feel like my body was just needing it. It was just like, man, I need something. So I gave it what it needed. So then I also went out to hang out with a friend yesterday, but I was so tired. I needed a break. Plus, I got stung by a bee. I stepped on a bee yesterday. It was in the grass. I didn't see it. It was in the shady part of the grass, and it totally stung my. I thought I stepped on a nail. I looked down, didn't see a nail. I looked in my foot, didn't see a nail, nothing. I looked closer in there. I was like, "Is there anything in there?" It hurt so bad. The pain, the sting itself was tremendous, but the pain that shot up all the way up my leg and was like I had to like I don't know how to explain it. I had to flex my muscles. I was like, oh, it was so painful, and I couldn't stand on my legs, so I gently sat my butt down on the floor. And again, I was looking. I was like, what the hell? I don't know what I stepped on. I was like, what? I don't see anything. I don't see anything under my foot. I seriously, I didn't see like a huge protrusion or anything. Like I wasn't bleeding. I was like, what is this? It stings like a mother effer. Um, so I crawled inside the house, and with the help of my parents, they got me a little container to put Epsom salt in and some water, some ice, and I took Advil and and then sat I forced my the bottom of my foot to sit in that cold Epsom salt water for like 30 minutes. And then I could barely put pressure on the foot, but I kind of forced myself to walk, and I just kind of walked through the pain. Eventually, it was just tremendous. So it was like a shock wave. It took me out of my element. It took me everything. So, plus, uh, because I had such an adrenaline rush from that bee stung, I felt this like tremendous wave of fatigue afterwards, which made things worse. So I just had to totally take a break. I forced myself to take a break, and so I sat down and like it was paralyzing. That's how incredibly painful it was. And so I had to sit there, and then I couldn't walk. I couldn't walk. I mean, I wasn't paralyzed, but I couldn't walk. I couldn't put pressure on my foot. So I was out, and then eventually I was out of marijuana. It's like the one thing I will painfully go after because that's going to help. So I used a little cane and I just kind of forced myself to walk to the car, get in the car. It was so painful. Went down to the dispensary, held my pain in the whole time, bought the stuff, went back to the car, went back home and lay down. I was like, oh my God, that was painful. It was the most painful trip to go get something ever. And then, because just moving the leg caused like, it just felt like something was in there. But really what happened, I think the bee stung me right on a nerve or something. Like it was intense, so intense. And I thought maybe it was poison, because I remember getting bee stung, but it never felt like that. You know, it never went up my whole body, like down up my spine. Like this thing hit me right on a nerve on my foot. And if you know about your bottom of your feet, it's like everything's connected down there. Like it's weird. Like if you ever look at Chinese or whatever pamphlets of the foot and how, like when they do massages on the foot, they show you where like each part of the bottom of your foot represents a body part. So it doesn't surprise me by getting stung right underneath my foot. I had my whole body just feeling so much pain up and down. It was insane. It was insane. It was paralyzing. It was insane. Kid you not, all my muscles tightened up and I turned red. I was like, oh, from the pain, because it was just so much. And like I said, I couldn't move. It was so much. And then I could have easily fell over and passed out, because I was starting to black out from the pain. And I just gently put myself down on the ground as I was like blacking out, and just kind of took some deep breaths and just kind of was like, what the hell? I didn't know what was going on, right? I didn't know it was a bee. I didn't know what was going on. I thought I stepped on a huge nail that pierced through my foot. That's what it felt like. But there was no blood. So I was like, what's going on? So I started to come to. I was like, oh, like my muscles started to relax. My consciousness was like starting to take control. And I was like, man, I got to get in the house, get out of the heat. So I did that. And then I took care of it with ice water, Epsom salt. But like I said, I couldn't move for hours. And this is the day of where I had an art class. And I was so mad because on top of that, I was already mad. Not mad, but I was frustrated because I'm trying to communicate with this company, Orbital, that I work for. They're like an international company that has local events everywhere, right? So I go on, I'm working for them. We're doing fine. There's a class yesterday. I couldn't go. I couldn't contact anybody. I didn't have anybody's information. I couldn't log in. Not even that. I was trying to log in prior, 3 days before that, because I couldn't get a hold of anybody. So I was like, what's going on here? I can't log in. And all their text messages and emails are automated, so I can't respond back. There's no way for me to get a hold of them unless I log in, but I can't log in. So there's no communication whatsoever. I didn't know I had students whatsoever at all. I had nothing telling me I had students, nothing. It just said, hey, you have a class coming up on this date, which I knew, which I had talked with the people in charge, whatever. So yeah, it's fine. But we never went through the cycle of actually me confirming, you know, a week before, because usually that's what you do. You as a host or art teacher, you confirm that you're going to do it. I never got to do that. For some reason, they kept pushing the event forward. And so I was like, okay, whatever. I guess I'll just, you know, I made a few posts about it. I was going to the class because I thought I was going to be able to log in. I sent messages. I was expecting messages back. So I kept making posts about the class that I was going to have it, under the impression they were going to respond back, because I finally found an email that I could use. Lo and behold, never heard back. The 3 days I've been waiting, never heard back. Didn't even know I had students. No idea. I had no idea. So the morning of, I checked my email. Of course, I have 8 students. It's already past the time. I'm stung by a bee. Like I'm dealing with paralyzing pain, and I'm just like, I can't deal with this. Like I literally quit on the spot because I can't communicate with these people. I tried everything I could to communicate. I get loaded with students that I had no idea I had, and they're all freaking pissed. They're all trying to call me and cuss me out and leaving bad reviews. And I'm like, dude, I had nothing to do with that day, okay? I never confirmed. So how are you as a company just gonna ignore me, push through the process, which was what we always do. We always confirm that I'm gonna do the class like Thursday before that Saturday. That's like, and I'm given, usually, if I don't respond back by Friday, they cancel the event. I never responded back to them. For some reason, they just kept pushing the event forward. Not my fault, okay? There was no way for me to communicate with them. No absolutely way to communicate with them. So not my fault. I got people putting all these bad reviews about me, but I don't care. I quit Orbital. I could care less. They treated me like garbage, like I was just something they could run over and schedule and run like a dog. No, I'm sorry. You can't treat me like that. The students you had show up, not my responsibility. I didn't even confirm. So what the heck? What the heck, Orbital? You screwed up. You screwed up big time. I quit. You're fucking retarded ass. Sorry, I didn't mean to cuss, but you're fucking bullshit. I'm done. And then like the other thing, I had a pain sip going, and I quit that too because they're not respecting or valuing me as an artist. They had me running around as an assistant when the host painting it had no idea what she was doing. It was terrible. She got paid more than me. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, forget about it. I'm not gonna be part of this thing where I have to prop another artist who's less talented than me. Forget it. No, you're gonna pay me less, and then what? Throw me out when I want a job? You're gonna say, oh, too bad, we got somebody else. F off. F off. I saved that event in Oklahoma City. I made it what it was. It was a huge success. Everyone was so happy. All the students were happy. The host you couldn't even hear her. I had to go around explaining everything to all the students because you couldn't even hear what she was saying. Plus, when she started the event, she excused herself to go to the restroom. Literally, when we started the event, I would say, "Hey, we're gonna start." Oh, I'm sorry, I gotta use the bathroom. Are you freaking kidding me? I was like, who are you? Why would they hire you over me? Forget it. I quit. You know, like I didn't quit there and then. I finished my job with a smile and said all the nice stuff and went home. Didn't say anything negative, but I was so pissed. I felt like an adult taking care of all the kids. You know, even the host was a child. You know what I'm saying? It was a horrible experience. So I was like, you forget it. I was like, forget it, dude. Forget it. I'm not doing that again. Forget it. Y'all don't know how to value my time? Forget it. Forget it. You know what I'm saying? Forget it. And I don't even know what this host said. She could have said she could have said she did an amazing job. She did everything amazing, you know. But all in all, she barely did anything. You could barely hear her. She had her back turned to everybody. She was so afraid. She was so green that she was a woman and she was of color. So of course she got the hosting position over me because I'm just a white stupid man who can't do shit. Oh, because I'm privileged. No, motherfucker. I'm talented. I put the time into it. And I saved that event. I saved it. I saved that event. It was one for me that would have been a complete failure. People are always putting people in position of authority and teacher and wisdom that have nothing to do there. They haven't earned it. They only got there because, oh, we need to diversify and fuck everybody else. It pisses me off. Do you see how pissed off I am? Anyways, I'm not going to let that ruin my vibes, but it pisses me off. It pisses me off so much that people treat you like this, and they go all about on how you look and what color your skin is. That's the first thing they focus on. In my book, that's being fucking racist. I don't care what you look like. I don't care what gender you have down here. I could care less. What do you have in here? What do you have in here? What do you bring to the table? What did you spend your time sacrificing so you could be really good at it? You know what I mean? They could care less about that. That doesn't matter anymore. Content, quality, out the window. Forget about it. Forget about it. This is upsetting. I'm upset. I'm gonna chill out. Because you know what happens? I take it. And I walk away, I leave smiles, and I come back and I explode. I explode where it's private, right? People get under my skin. But I let it fly, you know, I let it fly. I don't cause a scene. I did my job, went home. Now's the first time I really bring it up. I bring it up in a month, because to be honest, this whole fiasco with them not communicating with me really pissed me off. So I was like, forget it. Now I got all these pissed off people at me because I didn't show up. But I didn't show up because I didn't know. And I never confirmed, okay? So not my fault. They skipped the whole process we had. They just wanted to run through and do it. Not my fault. They're a giant corporation. They don't give a shit. They're a giant corporation trying to appear local. You know what I'm saying? They're giant. They have local. They have local. Yeah, they hire locals, but it's not local. It's all organized and and done so in a way where it's like it's corporate, it's totally international. It's like, forget it, I'm not gonna be part of this, you know. And then all the local people think it's local. They don't think there's a huge company overseeing everything. That's why they're blaming me. They're like, oh, this local guy stood us up. No, I didn't stood you up. I never even confirmed to do it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what is this? They're trying to like blame. I'm gonna sue them. And then I'm not gonna sue them, but I should. I freaking should. You know, you can't do that to a person. You can't like just totally run them over and just schedule them and not confirm and be like, oh, sorry, you get bad reviews now. We don't get, it's not our fault. It's like, well, what? Totally your fault. You never contacted me. Did I ever confirmed with you guys? No, I never confirmed. Now they want to make me look bad. I don't know what they told the people that you know, that got stood up, whatever. They gave me all bad reviews, but I don't give a shit. You think I'm going to give you authority with your reviews and opinions? Your opinions don't mean shit to me, dude. Nothing. You guys were had. 8 students were had by a corporation. I didn't show up because it was the right thing to do. I wasn't going to show up and waste my time. You think I'm going to waste my time, allow them to waste my time, devalue me? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Anytime somebody tries to devalue me or throw me under the bus, it pisses me off so much. But I'm not going to do anything. Right? This is as much as I do. The ranting, right? The reflection on the day, that's all I do. Reflection, I look back and I go, okay, never again. Never freaking again. You know, if I'm in a position where they're like, hey, you want to do this assisting job? I'm going to be like, well, what are the qualifications of the person I'm assisting? Let me make sure that I'm assisting somebody who's actually better than me, because otherwise, what the F are we doing here? You know, give me the job and they can assist me. How about that? You know, I don't want to play adult, you know, and do everything for the host, and they can barely paint. They paint like a 5-year-old. You know, it's ridiculous. Ridiculous. She was so underprepared, completely didn't have enough brushes, didn't have enough canvases. I had all the supplies. I brought it with me extra. Nobody told me. I brought it with me extra to be like, okay, just in case there's an emergency. And guess what? There was an emergency, and I was there to save the day. You know what? Did they give a shit? No, they didn't give a shit. Nobody knew. Nobody at the company knew that I probably saved the day and probably like did this and that, you know. No, I'm sure she didn't say anything. I'm sure she didn't say anything and took all the credit. I'm sure she did. I'm so certain of it. You know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because I'm done with that. You know, I'm in a new place, and that's just old energy. That's just old energy that's coming back as I reflect. But I don't need to bring that up. You know, I think bringing it up is like, fine, it's there. I found it. Let's get it out of our system. You know, let's get it out of there. Let's get this BS out of our system that's just going to weigh us down, you know, throughout our life. If we have anything of like, that's just weighing us down. You know, as I talk about it, I'm just feeling better about it. I'm feeling better about it. You know, God bless them. Good luck to them. I'm feeling better. I don't want to say negative things, you know, but it was a very frustrating everything. The other company, very frustrating. This other one, very frustrating. And I've been very good. Like this paint sub company I've been with for over a year. And for some reason, for over a year, they still don't see value or don't see my talent, then they can go F off. This other company I've been with over a year too, again, they just want to use me as like a meat puppet as a talent and not treat me like a human being. Fine, goodbye. I don't give a shit. Like, I have no problem closing that door. You think I'm afraid of not being successful without you? No, I have no problem. I had success before them. I'll find it again somewhere else. It's not a problem. You know, it's not a problem, especially when I'm vibing high, I'm positive, and I'm really just walking away from negative people and negative stuff and negative situations. That's it. That's all I'm doing. You know, and you got to do that sometimes. And to top it off, you know, I even told the theater people, I had 2 shows coming up, and to be honest, I was like, you know what? Although they're not treating me bad, I looked at my schedule and I was like, you know, it's too much. I'm doing too much. The whole painting fiasco, getting stung by a bee, I'm already overwhelmed. So I need a break is what I need. So I'm going to keep YouTubing, but anything extra, I'm roller coasting through. Like I may do one event in August, which is probably a screening because my film festival kicks off in August, which is huge. I have a huge film festival. Not huge, but it was a huge success this year, you know, in May. And next year, I think it'll just be bigger. I think it'll only just be bigger, and You know, it like this year was like year 5 of doing it, and it was only just bigger than the year before that. So if I can organize it just right, this film festival, it'll be in May of next year, 2026. It'll be a big one. It'll be a big one. It'll be a very big one. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes because I'm in contact with a lot of people who know celebrities. I'm connected with a lot of filmmakers who have no problem. They go, hey, can I screen your movie? They have no problem saying yes. So it's going to be a big one. I may consider adding bands at the night to finish off the nights as a celebration, and all that. Like we might even push it to do a 3-nighter film festival, but usually like I did 2 days. 2 days is a lot. It's a lot of work because I literally do everything. I work the entire film festival, mainly because I don't have money, I don't have support. There's no team. I tried building a team, but they keep falling apart because they're not dedicated. There's no money. Sometimes they show up to the event and they help out, but that's as far as it goes. They sit at a table and take tickets. They help out with certain things, which is huge. But as far as running it, I'm solely responsible. Not even the movie theater does anything either. They don't do anything except take in money. So it's tough. It's tough running a whole film festival when you do it by yourself. And for years, I've been trying to get help, and just nobody's stepping up. Nobody's stepping up. So it's okay. It's one of those things where when you start off, people are going to look at you funny until you get real success, and then that's when you keep going. But I'm really good at assessing things. I'm and analyzing things and seeing where things are headed. And I've been doing these reflections just about every day. I'm always capable of, after reflecting, tweaking my behaviors throughout the day, my thinking. And I noticed tremendous growth throughout like these 3 months, 4 months, just extreme growth that I've never really experienced before. So I think a lot of it has to do cutting out a lot of negative people, negative situations, people who don't know how to communicate, just cutting all that out and keeping it really simple. I only have I stay only close to my mom and dad. There's a couple of friends I talk to. There's some mentors I talk to, but that's it. I don't make time for anybody else. It's just people I care about, the animals I care about, and that's it. I don't have time to sit around and do nothing, and unless I need to rest. But other than that, it's most of the time I can't hang out. I'm working on something, I'm trying to build something. If you want to hang out, come to my meeting, hang out with me. We'll discuss positive things. We'll work towards something. But I can't just go out and hang out with you event to event, waste my time as an audience member when I have stuff to do. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people want me to come out, but I don't come out. They get kind of mad. And then I don't know. It's a weird thing. I just it hasn't been a happy place in the film community here with me. They've got me banned from Circle Cinema. I got pushed out from Gypsy, the arts, in the arts district here in Tulsa. So a lot of pushback by people who are just find me dangerous. They find me dangerous in the sense that I'm going to take away the spotlight. I'm an unleashed wild talent with no management, nothing. I'm independent, and every time I show up, it's a stir. Oh, this guy, or oh my God, this guy again. I thought we got rid of him, or what I'm saying? It's just a battle. So in a lot of ways, I escaped all that by coming to YouTube, and YouTube has been amazing. I've had tremendous growth, tremendous connections, friends, a lot of friends in Australia, which is funny because it's where I want to move to. I want to get out of the States and go to Australia, perhaps, do something there. I definitely want to go back to acting and theater eventually, but to go from here to there would be very interesting. Possibly Argentina, where I'm born. I have a lot of family. All my family's in Argentina. So if I were to go back to Argentina, I would have tremendous support, tremendous help, which I don't have here. So I have a lot of things that as I question as an adult, where do I need to be where I'm going to grow and have my talents really grow? And I thought about, going back to Argentina wouldn't be that weird. I speak Spanish fluently. I grew up with my parents who are pure Argentinians. So I can go back and live a life there. I can adjust very easily. Not only that, I would have all this talent that I bring with me, all this uniqueness from Oklahoma to the Argentinian film community, and it's very unique. Sometimes they need Americans or Argentines to play Americans. And how rare is it to find an Argentine who can act American like I do without in an instant. I can just change. Sí, ahora estoy hablando español. Sí, soy argentino. Yo me cambio así. Me falta un poco de práctica con el español, pero seguramente unos tiempos ahí viviendo en Argentina, trabajando, mi español se va a poner mejor en tiempo y voy a poder hablar mejor español. Pero por ahora está muy... me falta, ¿viste? Anyways, see what I mean? I can switch out like this. Even my mannerisms, it's different, you know, and I've been able to go back and forth so many times and live outside the US that I'm not just somebody who's like, yes, my football team. I'm actually, you know, not a stupid American. There's smart Americans and there's stupid Americans, you know. I'm kind of one of the smart ones. And there's plenty of smart ones, don't get me wrong. There's probably more smart ones than stupid ones. But I'm just saying, I'm not saying stupid, I'm just saying ignorant. They're ignorant to a lot of things, to the world. They don't even care to even spend time with somebody, you know, outside of, you know, I had a guy comment from Texas. He was like, "Oh, you're Oklahoman. You're dumbass." I was like, "What's with the attitude, Texas? Damn." You see what I mean? Some Americans are just so stupid and hateful, and there's no reason. There's no reason. I think they get that from football. They get that from sports. They just fucking get tied up to the competition. They just fucking hate everybody. Oh, you're this state? Fuck you. You're that state? F you. Like, what is that? What is that? What is that? Take it easy. Oh my goodness. Take it easy, psychopath. Are you totally brainwashed? Are you completely brainwashed? Oh, no wonder. That's what I mean by ignorant Americans. There's so many of those. There's also a lot of conscious Americans. There's all kinds of Americans. Americans isn't one thing. It's like they say, it's a melting pot of all kinds of people under the rulership of an empire, the American empire, the American incorporated empire. Amazing. I myself it would be fun to climb that ladder of authority and power. I think humans do it because it's so much fun. I think that system is a lot of fun. That's why people do it. And people go, "Oh, they're so greedy." Well, it's fun. It's fun to succeed and be productive, and you do stuff, and it's helping people, and you're climbing the ladder, and then now you have some authority and responsibility and power. And now you have more money coming in. Then you meet more people that give you more responsibility and power. It's fun, is it not? To say that it isn't, to say that like, oh, you know, that lifestyle is, it's a lifestyle. People are free to have any lifestyle they want. I find it hilarious that people of certain groups criticizes one lifestyle when, you know, they don't like it when they get criticized. Well, if you don't like getting criticized, then don't criticize others. How about that? How about we just let everybody do whatever they want without hurting each other and live in peace, right? I thought that was the whole point of this America thing, is we allow others to live and live their lives the way they want without having to feel like they have to step on landmines every morning. You know what I'm saying? I think that's why a lot of the reason why I just seclude myself from people, because they're insane. People are insane. I just saw a video of the festival, a jazz festival. I can't remember where. Fucking just people beating up people. Like what? Why? What is so important at this jazz festival that you have to beat each other up? Did you lose yourself in the moment of the heat? What? I mean, is it that important? Are you so out of control? Do you have no control over your emotions that you don't know how to be a gentleman, even when things are crazy and heated? Oh, that's ignorant, stupid people. You can't get away. Anywhere you go, you're going to always find ignorant, stupid, violent people who don't know how to control themselves, who allow themselves to get run over by emotions. You know, you could almost call it being possessed. You know, that's what happens. You get possessed by your emotions. You lose all control. You know, you're no longer you. You're a possessed version of you. You're a demonic possessed version of you. You lost control. Emotions have that power. Good or bad. You know, good or bad. They have that power in people. If good could be just as addicting, you know, as just as bad. You know, people love being bad. Oh, they love being bad. People love being good too. You know. What do you love to do? It's funny how we have the choice. That's just the most amazing thing to me, that we have the choice. At the end of the day, even if you feel extreme emotions, you still have the choice. You have that ability to go, wait a minute. Let's take a pause. Let's take a pause here and look at what actions what we're doing here and what we're causing. You know, what are we causing here? So if you're not intelligent enough to have that process in your brain, and that's what I mean by ignorant Americans. You don't have the process to think. You don't know how to think for yourselves. You don't know how to do anything for yourselves. But you know, that's a small portion. That's a group. You know, I say small, but that's like in the millions, right? And then there's millions of people who are very intelligent, responsible. They prop up society, right? Some people prop us up. Some people pull us down. You know, that's why I get away from people, because all they want to do is pull me down. I'm just like, no, you don't get it. I have no problem walking away in a drop of a dime. Doesn't matter who you are. I don't care if you're the president. I don't care if you're Mr. Spielberg and you want to sign me to your movie. I will drop you in a matter of seconds if I find that you're devaluing me, if you're mistreating me, if you don't see me for what I bring to the table. Forget about it. Forget about it. You know, forget about it. It's that simple. You know, it's that simple. You don't want to see the value in me? Goodbye. 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 You got to have that attitude. And the thing is, that's a natural attitude to have when you actually have value to bring. It's not like made up. It's not to be dramatic. Although, you know, you saw me get frustrated, and I tend to get dramatic, but I'm in the frustrations. You know, you caught me in the moment. I'm not like that all the time. I'm releasing it, you know. And some people take these videos. I had people start a channel who I used to rant a lot back in the day, because I was trying to force things to work out, you know, but you can't do that. You can't force things to work out. No matter how hard you try with people to be nice to them, they're going to find things that they don't like you. Oh, you don't want to help me? I don't like you now. I'm sorry. I didn't know I had to help you for you to like me. Dang, dude, that's fucking vicious. You're just going to kick me out of your friend zone because I didn't help you? Well, how am I supposed to help you when, like, I'm in the same boat? You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, I bring all this talent and value, but you want me to do everything for you? No, I was going to be the leading man in this movie. And here's the problem. I was literally doing everything. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, no, I'm your leading actor. I shouldn't be producing. I shouldn't be finding your locations for you. And all your choices are horrible. Why am I part of this movie? Goodbye. You know, I quit because I was like, what is this? This is not, yeah, you threw leading man at me, but I took the bait. But it was a horrible production, horrible organization. Didn't want to be a part of it. You know, I tried, but there, again, didn't see the value in me. So if you're not going to spend the time actually doing the job of a filmmaker producing, then you show me you're just wasting my time. And then I have to step up and do the work because you're not doing it. No, goodbye. Forget it. You know, I have limited time just like anybody else. I'm a human being. I'm not going to exhaust myself to death just so I can be a leading man in a movie. No, I'm not that desperate to be a leading man. If it happens, it happens. You know, great. It'd be great if it happens, because then people would see, oh shit, this guy's really entertaining. He can carry the whole fucking movie. But no one gives me the shot. So whatever, you know, until somebody does, or until I create a project where I put myself in a leading man position. But, you know, I'm not desperate for it, you know, like other actors. I don't care. I could go years without acting in a movie. It would kind of suck, but I don't care. I don't care that I'm not like fanatic. I'm not crazy. I bring a lot of talent, but it's got to be a situation where they're like, oh, we want you. We really want you. If it's not like that, then forget it. I'm not going to like bow down, kiss your shoes, go the extra mile just so I can have a position. No, forget it. I know my value. If you're not going to bring a proper production to me that I can actually look at and go, oh, this is proper, forget it. Forget it. And people go, oh, you're so mean. No, I'm not mean. My time is important to me, okay? It's not being mean. You don't have to hate me at the end of the day. I didn't freaking go, oh, I hate you. No, I just said, I can't do this. I'm sorry. You know, and leave it at that. And then people want to hate on me. It's like, damn, dude, like, just people say no all the time. You don't have to hate me just because I said no to your project. Go find somebody else. Go find somebody else that's more suitable for your project, is willing to sit through whatever it is, like maybe years and years without anything ever happening. Go for it. I'm not going to do that. I'm not doing that. Forget about it. The worst part is, I'm a really good actor, but here's the thing. You got people coming from New York, from LA coming in, and they're just taking all the projects. they're just taking all the film projects, you know, and so I'm left with nothing. You know, all the locals here who are equally talented are scratching their head going, you got all these fuckers coming in outside because they can't get a job there, so they come here and take our jobs away. So it's like, damn, that's okay. That's a system that exists. Whatever, go for it. You know, you figured it out. Fine. You know, I was mad for a while, and I let it go. I let it go. It doesn't bother me anymore. You know, it took a lot of work to just let that go and realize that the world is a garden. There's plenty to go around. You know, who am I to stop anybody else? I wouldn't want anybody to stop me. So who am I to stop them? So I didn't. I stood back, didn't say anything. They all did their things. But for me, what do? They banned me. They kicked me out. They spread rumors about me. I didn't do a single thing like that. Not only that, I even went up to the actors and confronted them and said, hey, look, I apologize. I apologize if I rubbed you the wrong way. What they do? They shut me out because they like it. They like coming in here from a different state, shitting on the locals so they can prop themselves up and get the job they want. They had to shit on me. I was a target. They're like, oh, this motherfucker is talented. And guess what? They saw it. Those motherfuckers who came in, all the film festivals, winning all the film festivals. Oh, because they're from New York. Oh, he was in the show. Big deal. Big deal. I kicked their asses in a different festival. I got Best Actor. They were there scratching their heads. How is that possible? Yeah, maybe I'm a lot more talented than you think. You know, the problem is these people were riding a wave of momentum. And when film festivals see that, of course they're going to prize them. But I look at their movies are shit, and they're winning over me. I don't think so. There's misjudgment going on. There's what do you call it? There's when people are being biased, and they're kicking me out of the community on purpose. They take away awards from me. They keep me from entering festivals on purpose. On purpose. They know who I am. They know who I am. Oh, they know who I am. And they keep me out on purpose. And you know what I said? Forget it. I tried speaking to you like a normal human being. I try to build bridges. You guys just want to kick me out, spread rumors. Fine. Goodbye. I'm going to go somewhere where they appreciate me. You know, and that's what I did. And I kicked ass. I kicked ass month to month to month. I had my art up in the museum. I had the shows. Our art classes were sold out when things were running well. You know, everything was pristine. And you know what? I reached a new point in my life where I'm like, you know what? I want more. I don't want to just be an art teacher that does like 13 students. I don't want to be a paint sipper that just does 60 people. No, I want to be an art teacher with my own show, my own movie screen where you see me painting and an audience full of people. That's what I want. And I'm capable of doing that. I'm highly capable of doing that. So that's the direction I'm moving towards. I'm going to have my own art space in a movie theater. I kind of already do. So you know what? It's about just making it happen, scheduling it. And it's going to be one amazing event after the other, you know? So I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it at all. But I'm more excited about what opportunities are out there aside from doing things on my own. What else is out there that could be good, you know, and you know, and all is good as long as people communicate with me. All is good. All I'm saying is these companies did not communicate with me. No matter how I try to talk to them, they didn't respond. They keep sending me automated emails and automated texts and calls that you can't respond to. You can't respond to any of them. So how am I, as a person, supposed to communicate to you? Hey, I can't do this. You know, I can't confirm because I have shit going on. Oh, you don't want to hear me out? You don't want to talk to me? Then forget about it. You just want to do the event and push it through? Forget it. Forget it. You want to act like I don't exist? Then guess what? I'm not showing up to your event because I don't exist, apparently. So, you know, whatever, dude. They don't want to put in the communication to do it right, then forget it. Goodbye. You guys are so dysfunctional, disorganized. I can't work with you. You know, there's a high level of expectancy. There's a high level of expectancy. There's a high level of functionality that if it's not there, goodbye. Goodbye. Stop wasting my time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to fiddle-faddle. I'm not going to, you know, we're not going to be in a state where, oh, we're just figuring it out. No. You should know what you're doing. You should present to me what you're doing. And if I like it, I'll do it. You know, present it to me, not just the script. I want to see your business plan. I want to see your insurance. I want to see who you got backing you up. I want to see your distribution plans. Forget it. Oh, I want to be in your short. No, I'm sorry. I'm past all that. You don't get to treat me like a piece of garbage. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you do this for free? Oh, no, you won't? Oh, you're an asshole. Oh, excuse me. Shit. I'm not asking for a lot. You could pay me as much as $10 an hour, $15 an hour, $20 an hour. I'm willing to negotiate, you know? You can rack up the hours, whatever. You know, it doesn't have to be or you can do a one-time fee, you know? I'll do the whole fucking movie for, let's say, $5,000. You know? That's not a bad fucking deal, especially for a no name like me. That's not a bad deal. And I can go work the whole movie. I'll work the whole schedule. I'll stick to the discipline. You know, people have seen that I've done it on YouTube from 5 a.m. to midnight, basically, for months on end. I've grown a huge audience. You know, forget about it. They want to treat me like I can't do any of that, like I'm no good. I just shown them that I could do it. So they could kiss my butt, you know? They could kiss my butt. Treated me like garbage. Like I'm a nobody. Forget about it. There's so many talentless people who just got the right brand name behind them. They worked on the right project, and now suddenly they're like, ooh, they're so talented. No, they're so positioned. There's a difference between positioned and talented. Man, you don't even know. You don't even know. I proved it to everybody too. I walked away from film, went straight to theater, did all my lines, performed it, did my stage. I don't see any other actors doing that. I don't see any other film actors who are supposedly so amazing just switch to theater, memorize 90 lines, and get on stage and perform it. I don't see how, oh, they're so talented. Let me see you do that. No? Oh, then maybe you're not that talented. Forget about it, dude. You got so many people who act like they're trying to be better, and they haven't earned it. They haven't earned, they didn't put the time into it, but suddenly, oh, you know, they're positioned. So, you know, it must mean something. That they're legit. Oh, they're legit, you know. It's true what they say, you know, you can't succeed with talent alone. You need to know people. You know, it's not that I don't work. I work my butt off. I'm probably one of the hardest working people I know. I don't know anybody who works harder than me. I don't know anybody who wakes up at 5 a.m. and finishes at midnight. You know, and not even sometimes wake up at 3 to just check on things and then go back to sleep. It's insane. I know, but I don't know anybody who works harder than me. I don't know any. I mean, I'm sure there's people out there, but hour to hour, I track my hours. I track my productivity, and I try to tweak it and increase it every time I go a little forward. I do whatever I can, supplements, health, nutrition, exercises. Every day. Not a single day goes by. Sometimes I have to rest, obviously, but not a single day goes by where I'm like, okay, if I push a little more, if I do this a little more, do that, you know, and I see the growth. Unstoppable. You know, I have a place where I can grow now, whereas before they're political, they get in your way. Some people from out of state take your jobs. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a lot of ridiculousness. There's too much drama, too much crap going around for me to grow as a talent, as an actor, as a film actor. It's impossible. It's like, it's close to impossible. You know, they make it so that, you know, as soon as a little rumor goes out, everybody hears about it. No one wants to talk to you. Nobody wants to look at you. Nobody wants to do anything with you. It's just a little fucking rumor, a little tiny rumor. That's it. You're done. Nobody wants to work with you. It's ridiculous how they do that to people. It's sick. There should be some kind of system where they in place where you can't do that. You can't do that in the film industry. You can't fucking treat people like that just based on a fucking rumor and just destroy any chance of any actor actually who spent their whole lives training, seriously, whole life training, you know, and then be like, oh, sorry, we don't like you. It's so shitty. It is beyond shitty. It is. I would never do that to a person. Never do that to a person. Never in a million years. All I do with the film festival is prop people up who I think and know and have a feeling they're going to, if they stick to it, they're going to get a chance, right? And it's up to them. But that's all I do. Year to year is prop people up. And what do I get shit on? You know, the cycle doesn't complete itself. The natural cycle of helping other people and doing great things for others. Nope. They're just evil people, and they don't know how to complete the natural cycle of things. They don't want to complete it. They don't want to allow others to grow. So forget about it, dude. I'm done. I've been done since November of last year, basically. And I've been on my own doing this shit, and I'm already, I'm hitting my goals that a lot of these actors couldn't even dream. They couldn't do what I do. I hit 1,000 subscribers. What, in a few months? I'm about to hit 1,000 subscribers. Just a few months. There's a guy I know. He's been trying to podcast for years, and he's still at like 600 subs. You know what I mean? So all these people, like, they put their noses at me, and I've totally surpassed them. This is what I did. Everybody who gave me shit, I'm surpassing. So they have no room to talk shit. You know what I mean? And there's people down in the industry that I don't care for, but, if I'm able to surpass them, that would be fucking my way of getting my revenge, in a very productive, positive way, is succeeding, right? And so, but in a lot of ways, I may not be succeeding in the Hollywood way, but the fact that I'm like a month away, not even a month, 2 weeks away from hitting 1 million views. You know what I mean? Good luck, other community actors who are better than everybody else and want to keep everybody else. Good luck. I'm hitting 1 million views in a few days, in a week. Good luck, good luck. I wish you luck. Goodbye. Goodbye. You want to fuck with me? You better apologize. You better apologize for shunning me first, and then we can work together. You better apologize to my face, not a call, not a text. In person, in my eyes, directly, without looking away, apologize for shunning me for no fucking reason. That would be nice. Am I going to get that? Probably not. And if that means I never get to work with them, then so be it. That's their fault. My door is open. They just have to apologize. Their door is shut. I try apologizing. I try to make amends, apologizing for nothing that I had to apologize, by the way. I was just trying to set things right. And it seemed to make things worse. If there's people who don't want to work with you, they'll find every excuse in the book. It doesn't matter, oh, he sneezed the wrong way, he talked to me the wrong way, he smells funny. Whatever the reason they want to find to get you out, they'll do it. They'll do it. Who knows? In the industry, how many side businesses are going on? Like, for instance, how many side deals? Hey, you give me this role, I'll give you $10,000. I hear it all the time. Oh, I spent $40,000 on this project to be this actor, and I didn't get the role, or I didn't get the success I wanted. I'm pissed. That's your fault, buddy. You try to bribe a producer to get a role, and you didn't get the outcome you wanted. That's your own fucking fault, for spending so much money, desperate to get something you want. With that desperate energy, you're not going to get it. You're just going to flop. You're going to fail. You got to come into this, like anything else you do, with this certainty that you're going to get it done, this confidence, not nervousness. You're not nervous. You think I go on set nervous? Hell no. I'm not green. I've been on many sets. I've been on Killers of the Flower Moon, Reagan, what else? A ton of other ones with like a ton of celebrities. You think I can't handle it? You think I can't handle working on a movie? Forget about it, dude. I'm like the first person you should be running to about hiring somebody to work on your movie as an actor. I used to work as a PA, but I'm not doing that shit anymore. Months and months and months. You feel like a entry level soldier, going through the boot camps. But I did it for 5 years because nobody wanted to fucking give me a chance. I'd be like, hey, I want to do this. I want to do this. Sorry, we got this gay guy that we think is better than you. We're going to place him. Oh, great. Even though I have spent years behind camera making my own movies, you're going to pick some random dude who doesn't have the experience and talent that I have, and because he's gay and diversity, you're going to put him ahead of me. Wow. Bullshit. Good luck to you, buddy. Good luck to all of you, Good luck to all of you. I guess you deserve it. You deserve it, You deserve it for being so strong that you're gay. Oh my God, it's fabulous. No one gives a shit if you're straight or gay. No one gives a shit. Only they care. Only they make a big deal. And probably some dumbasses who are judgmental, fucking religious dumbasses. Oh, you're gonna burn in hell. Okay. Oh, that's a whole different story. It's almost like society brainwashes people so there's conflict in the future, Then this side gets brainwashed to hate this side, and this side gets brainwashed to hate this side, and we're stuck in a cycle hating each other for no fucking reason, because we're following an invisible guideline of what's right instead of just doing what's right. We're told, we're brainwashed what's right instead of just doing what's right. You know what I mean? We're pathetic human beings. We have to be like told what's right. We can't just figure it out on our own. Oh, this is the right thing to do. Where's the inner voice? Where's your consciousness? You all have it. Don't act like you don't have it. You have consciousness. You're awake. Somewhat, you know, but are you awake though? Are you really awake? You know, you're gonna die one day. You're not gonna live forever. Are you living your life the way that brings you happy and joyous? Or are you gonna live miserable for the rest of your life until you die? You see me ranting and stuff, but I'm not an angry person. I'm just laying it out. But you see me, I'm one of the happiest mother effers on the planet. You have no idea how happy I am. The joy I have, the peace of mind. I'm very careful about letting people ruin that. I'm very careful. I've worked very hard to establish this garden I have out here, this garden of this sanctuary of peace that I built for myself, you know, and in collaboration with my parents. You know, it's beautiful here. It's paradise. No drama, nothing except, you know, bills, whatever. That's nothing. That's nothing. This is all paid for. I don't pay bills for this. You know what I'm saying? Keep the life simple. You know, I'm not running myself to the ground, working for somebody else, because I'm trying to get a girl or whatever, because I look bad if, you know, who cares what people think about you? Are you happy? You know, John Lennon, people don't understand happiness. The whole point of life is to pursue your joy and happiness. Like, what are you doing? Why are you not doing that? You know, you're supposed to be healthy. You're supposed to work on yourself. You're supposed to grow. And you do that by working on yourself, not by working for somebody else. You know, think about your lifestyle. Are you killing yourself for a lifestyle that does anybody really care for? Like, does anybody notice? Those are good, deep questions. Like the things you do, probably because you want to get noticed, or because there's a society placement and you feel good about where you're placed. That's all facade. You know, that goes away. What's left? Your relationships. That's what matters. Your relationships. Who's actually going to be there for you? Who actually loves you? Who actually cares about you? You think the world is going to love you and care about you? Yeah, maybe you got fame. But it's not real love. It's such a facade. It's oh, I love him because he's famous. You know, it's fake. It's these people. You think the stars are going to get any real care, any real love, any kind of human touch from fans? No, they're just fanatics. They're fanatics. They've lost their mind. They're crazy. They're fanatics. You know. So like, and the whole industry runs. It runs on just deceiving people, on the fanatics, and sucking the energy and focus and tension from fanatics. Oh yeah, Hollywood thrives on that. They thrive on just wasting your time and energy for sure. Well, they make billions and billions and what do you get out of it? You had a good time watching the movie? Wow. Maybe we should change the system. Maybe you should get paid to watch the movie. How about that? I don't know. Why not? Why not get paid to watch the movie? Change the system. Don't go to any movie until they pay you to go. Hollywood has got money. They'll fucking do it. If they spend millions on stars that they just arbitrarily set, if audiences arbitrarily set a price and said, hey, we'll only go to your fucking movies if you pay us $25 to go watch the movie. And you watch. Hollywood's going to be like, fuck. All right, we can't pay these celebrities. And somehow we have to pay audiences. What? This is insane. You know? What are they going to do? Of course, that will never happen. You know? It'd be like if everybody stopped voting because they realized how fake it is and they want their power back. It's never going to happen. You think that's ever going to happen? No, of course not. You would have to have a crazy war for that to happen. You know, the only way these people in the government would ever, you can't vote them out. They're placed for life. You think you vote them out? They're placed for life. Come on. They're positioned. You know what I mean? They're all positioned. And you're not. They had their whole lives and futures planned out for them. You know, you ain't got shit. They leave you in the dark to just fucking die alone, to figure it out on your own. You know what I mean? It's that shit. It's so shitty. It's so, you think people are kind in Hollywood and they're like, oh, let me help your career. Let me help you out. No, no, they look for what's hot. And they go, he's hot, she's hot. Let's use the shit out of that person until they're done and go on to the next who's hot, who's what. Oh, Pedro Pascal, oh, he lines up with all of our ideals and propaganda. Perfect. Put him in all our fucking movies. Kid you not. Look at all the fucking movies that are coming out. Pedro Pascal, Pedro Pascal, Pedro Pascal, Pedro Pascal. Why? Because he lines up with the propaganda that Hollywood is putting out. As an actor, you can only succeed if you line up with that propaganda. Guess what? Johnny Depp's fucking sick of it. He's gone. I never bought into it. I was always aware of it. I'm not gonna fucking change who I am just to fucking be in a movie. Forget about that. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna sell my soul. I'm not gonna sell my soul. You know, I'm gonna create my own garden. You know, I'm not desperate for whatever they have, and quite frankly, whatever they have going on is quite disgusting, horrendous. Sure, they provide an assortment of entertainment of like every day they're just a machine. But at the end of the day, do they bring you value in your lives? Do they actually bring you, like, maybe you get laughter, joy, but I don't know. After growing up in movies and watching movies, I'm like, you know, I've always wanted to work in it. And the way they've treated me, the way things have gone, made me rethink about Hollywood and all the people that work in it. They're just, most people are like really old and just like they have, I don't know what they, you know, like I've been in rooms where they're really uncomfortable, one-on-one interviews, super uncomfortable, you know, like not a regular interview, like just like you could just, these people are sleazy, like you could feel it, you know what I'm saying? Like there's just like you just feel it, you know, there's I want to be around. So, you know, if your production, I don't care if it's Keller's Flower Moon, I don't care who, like if I'm getting from you, stay away from me, please. It's just that it's not just the stars who cause controversy. Oh, no, it's everybody. Most of everybody in Hollywood is sleeping with this person or doing this or doing that. You know what I'm saying? Fine, each their own. I don't want to be a part of that. You know what I'm saying? You got actors sleeping with crews and stuff like that just to get ahead. Like, I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to be a part of that. Excuse me. I have a little bit more self-respect than that. Excuse me. No. Oh, I don't get the movie? Too bad. Oh, too bad. I get to be happy for the rest of my life? I think I'll pick that versus feeling like shit because I got abused, sexually abused, and went through a system where they just fucking chew you up and throw you out. I'm happy. I don't need that in my life. I see how they get treated. No, thank you. No, thank you. You know, no, thank you. No, thank you. I think that's why a lot of people in Oklahoma are like, yeah, we're starting our own movie productions. We're doing this. We want to be Hollywood, but be like a pure version of Hollywood, of like what it was, you know, and without any kind of government or military propaganda reach, you know, without any Chinese funding, you know, like just pure local made movies, you know. And there's a lot in Oklahoma that get made, actually. I've made quite a bit of them. I've worked on a ton back in the day before Hollywood even stepped in Oklahoma. I mean, sure, in the past, but I'm talking about in the modern day. Like before Killers of Flower Moon, like before there was nothing happening except us. We were the ones, Bob Dodd, we were the ones doing the movies, okay? We were the ones, okay? Everybody came outside and started treating us like shit and was like, oh, leaving us out. Like, we are the ones, okay? We were here making movies, okay? And they're actually quite good, you know? They're not like, oh, superb, because it's, at the end of the day, it's all of us trying to make a movie, figuring it out without any kind of direction, any kind of mentorship. So at the end of the day, yeah, there's going to be problems in the acting and whatever, but I've learned a ton. If I were to shoot a movie, direct it, the acting would be superb. You know, I finally get it. I finally got it there. I finally got there. It took me a while, but it's, for me, the acting has been like this. I come out of it, come back into it, go on to it. You know what I'm saying? It's never been consistent. I never hit like, you know, I never had the access to go anywhere, really. I was just stuck, you know, and a lot of family responsibilities. A very Catholic family, you know, you kind of get stuck, you get pinholed in that kind of thinking, like, oh, I got to go to church every day. You know, in the back of my mind, I was like 13, wanting to be an actor. You know, I never paid attention to church, and it was like, I hate this. I hated every second. I hated being there, you know, and I guess I adapted to just being places where I don't like to be and just being patient. But I think in the long run, it just hurt me. It hurt me. It hurt any chance of pursuing my dream early on. You know, it really hurt me. You know, and so now I'm adult. You know, I'm free to do whatever I want. You know, I'm really hitting it hard, and I'm doing really well. I've worked as a ghostwriter for 5 years, which was amazing. You know, that kind of experience you can't. It's rare, you know. Acting on these big movie sets for 5 years is rare. Not 5 years, but like for years, and then working on smaller productions and TV shows for years. You know that's something that builds up to something. So it's not all to waste. You know, I may hit a slump right now, but I haven't quit. Like, I didn't quit just because I walked away from film and acting temporarily. I haven't quit. I think a lot of people are like, oh, he quit. I didn't quit. I just walked away because I didn't have a choice. Nobody's hiring me. I audition like a maniac. I don't get anything. You audition back to back and you don't get anything. It's like, damn, what a fucking waste. You waste all your time, all your energy. I got tired of doing that. I got tired of wasting my time and energy devoting to something that I never get back anything, you know? So I was like, I had enough. I had enough of this shit. Like, forget it. So that's why I started YouTubing, you know, and it's going really well. It's going really well. So I'm going to end this reflection. I think I've let out a lot. I've thought about a lot, and I've been thinking about like more or less the direction I want to go, and I've given myself some direction. I got the film festival to worry about. I got my goals on YouTube. I'm very close to hitting my first goal of 1,000 subscribers. You know, I'm very thankful for everybody who stopped by, watched, listened, you know, give me a like, give me a comment. You know, sometimes I'm a little edgy. I know I'm a little edgy. I'm a little offensive. I know. I'm sorry. I apologize. I really get into it when I'm ranting, but that's not how I am every day. You know, I'm really in a good, happy place. But a lot of that is, it tells me that there's still stuff in here that's hurting. You know, a lot of pain that I've gone through that I still need to heal. That's what it tells me. So, you know, I haven't completely healed from how I've been treated. You know, I've been pretty much. It's actually been quite an amazing journey. Some people may not see it that way, but that's the truth. It is what it is. I came from getting crucified to really help me out in different fields of my life. I apply that behavior. You know, I made changes to my thinking, to my physical crucified, and banned and thrown out basically, and just blacklisted. As everyone tells you, oh, you're blacklisted. You're blacklisted. I'm like, listen, buddy, I'm not blacklisted. I'm just, you know, people don't like me in this community. They're the only ones too. I could leave here and go somewhere else and it'd be fine. I'm not blacklisted. I'm just, people here are just assholes. You know, so they act like they have power. You know, that's what I'm saying. Like, oh, you're blacklisted. From what? From being I'm not even in a lesser position than you. You act like you're above me. You know, that's hilarious. I'm blacklisted from a group of people who think they're above me. How funny. That doesn't mean anything. It's just ridiculous. It's just egos pushing out more egos and trying to rub it in my face. It has zero effect other than it did. Like, actually, no, I take it back. It did have an effect. Like I said, I got so depressed because everybody turned against me, and I worked so hard for years. And people love me too. The public loved me. It's only the filmmaking community that didn't like me. You know, and so people loved me, but they had to get me out. So they got me out. They won. They won that battle. And I don't see it as a complete loss. I mean, like I said, I'm really thankful that it happened, because it kind of started gearing me to the theater, to the art, and I started experiencing all that. I had major successes. Huge. I mean, just back to back. Right after that happened, I had nothing but back to back successes. While I was depressed, while I was heartbroken, while I was like really down, I was still doing the work. You know, I put on a smile, showed up, did everything. You know, and it was a huge success. You know, no one that I know of in the history of Oklahoma, in the span of like 4 months, had an art piece in a museum for $10,000. Came out and did 2 live shows at a theater. What else? There was the sold out paint sips of 60+ people. You know what I mean? And all the paint classes. That's huge success. going from, you know, for a whole year campaigning the festival, this and that, and doing all, which was a huge success, by the way. That's another success I had this year, was the film festival, huge success. And so the fact that they banned me, but I was still able to succeed month to month to month to month, and they're just scratching their heads like going, what the hell's going on? It doesn't have an effect. What I'm saying is my future, my career, my productivity has nothing to do with them saying, oh, you're blacklisted, or them saying, oh, you're banned, or this or that. It has nothing to do with them. Absolutely nothing. They act like it does, and it has nothing to do with them. Not absolutely not. It could. I could invite them in. I could involve them with any projects that could do the same with me, but it seems like they don't want to do that because they're scared that I'm going to succeed and take away their spotlight. It's just that simple. They don't like the fact that I'm going to take away their spotlight, so they're scared. They don't want to work with me. They would much rather keep the spotlight and just be like, oh, he's difficult, he's this. No, I'm not difficult, okay? I'm not difficult. If I was difficult, how was I able to do all these huge events that were success month to month to month to month? How is that difficult? I'm not difficult. I just sometimes come on YouTube and let some shit out because I just what I do, you know? And somebody saw that and made a channel and said, oh, and then started commenting like, oh, he's a homophobe, he's this, he's that, which is like not even true. Nothing I said was homophobic. Nothing I said was anything wrong. You know what I'm saying? This guy went out of his way to create a YouTube channel and comment in a way that twisted what I was saying and trying to make me look bad, which he was successful in a way. He got me banned. He did this stuff, you know? Of course, he's gay. I'm not making this shit up. This gay guy who created YouTube has something, again, I have no problem with gay people, but it just seems like they have problems with me. And that's the issue here, that they have problems with me. It's not the other way around. I don't have problems with Native Americans. They have issues with me. I try to be friendly with them. They treat me like shit. And then they go, oh, you're an asshole? Yeah, I'm an asshole because you treated me like shit. You think I'm going to be nice to you? You treated me like shit, buddy. Goodbye. Oh, I'm the asshole. I'm difficult. Motherfucker, you were so rude. You were such an asshole and you're so unaware of it. You know, goodbye. Like, dude, I'm that quick. You fucking treat me like shit. You were rude. I don't have time for that. You know, I don't have time for that. I'm sorry. You're offended. Now you have two jobs. You go figure out why you're offended, and then you could go unoffend yourself. Because I have nothing to do with you being offended. Oh, you want to call me a racist, homophobic? Because I choose not to like you particularly. I don't like you particularly because you're an asshole and you just happen to be gay or you just happen to be a Native American. I'm not a homophobic. I'm not of anything. You're just a shitty person in here and in here. That's what you are, a shitty person here and a shitty person here. I don't get along with people who have shit for brains and shit for a heart. I don't get along with those people. And they're the ones who have the egos out of control. They want to be superstars. You know, they want to be seen. They're desperate to be seen. They're desperate. You know, they'll do anything to get that. I could care less. I could walk away from film for 20 years. I could care less. I do it because I challenge myself. It's challenging myself. I'm bringing joy to others. That's the whole point of art, which I do. In my theater, my painting, my classes, I brought immense amount of joy to people. That's my number one priority, bringing joy to people. That's it. Because I have a lot of joy. And I see people suffering. I see people in pain. They want to hang out with me. People are always like, oh, are you free? You do this? Like, because they want to hang out because they see how happy I am. Oh, we need to ban him. He's too happy. He's too talented. He's just going to take over. Let's just keep him at bay. So, if you're not going to provide the garden that everybody should be provided for me to go and grow my talent and do all this, then goodbye. I've repeated myself too many times, but it's all gone. It's all good. So today at noon, if it's not noon already, I'm going to go live again for some live garden action. I have a podcast called Discuss It with Lasso. That's me. This is my channel. You can find a podcast where I have 15 different topics about how to become a highly achieving person. It's just simple communication like this. I don't do anything fancy. And you just hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. I talk about gardening, the benefits of that. I talk about organization. I talk about a lot of topics. And there's 3 topics I wrote down that I'm interested in talking about. Perseverance, forging a path, and self-education. Those are 3 topics. I'm going to do a podcast, 3 different podcasts over to add to my playlist. Discuss it with Lasso. You can find all those topics there. You can find a playlist called Gardening with Lasso. Those are all my live gardening sessions, my positive messages I do in the morning. It's so important to have positive messaging in the morning and get your mind right. And I do updates, and then I have the vlogs where I do my workouts, nutrition intake to help me keep energized and all that. I don't do soda. I don't do coffee. I cheated yesterday. I had a little bit of apple. I say a little bit. I had this much of like an apple fritter. My body just wanted it. I've been dieting and doing the right thing. My body was like, oh, I need something. So I cheated. I had an apple fritter. I had a scoop of ice cream. But my body just wanted it, and when your body is like wanting something, you better give it to it, or else, I felt faint. So I was like, I better eat something, and I had a steak. I had steak, which is fine. Steak is fine, but I had a lot of it because like my body just wanted it. I've been eating so much fruits and vegetables. Probably did something to my glucose, sugar levels. I don't know what it did, but like my body just wanted meat, I was like, I had barbecue yesterday. Delicious steak. But yeah, I'll eat a lot of salads, fruits, vegetables, supplements. I'm doing the modern mushroom supplement, which is a mixture of 10 mushrooms, which mushrooms have so many health benefits for you in different parts of your body as well. Not different parts, but the components of each mushroom does like a little different thing, but they all do the same thing essentially, but differently. So having all of that together as a supplement is actually pretty amazing. A really good idea. So I'm taking that. I really don't do supplements. I'm not a big supplement medicine guy, but as far as that goes, I was okay. I'll try this out, and I like it. It's been over a week, and I've been taking it. I can tell a slight difference with my energy, with my fatigue. There's mental fatigue. There's physical fatigue, and I notice a boost in that without having to do B12 shots, without having to do coffee. So yes, I still feel it, but I still have the energy to push through it. As long as I push through that fatigueness around, it used to hit me between 1 and 3. Now it's kind of moved later in the day. It's like between 3 and 5, I feel the fatigue. And of course, between 6 and 10, while I'm working really hard, I'm tired as hell, but I'm able to push through without it. I say able to push through without cheating, but I did cheat. I had an apple fritter, but prior to that, I was doing all the days without coffee, without pastries, without sugar, anything, without sodas, just water, fruits, vegetables, some lean meats, some beans, all that kind of stuff, nuts. That's what's changed. I'm out of nuts. Eating the nuts throughout the day helped keep me energized for some reason. Now that I'm out, I've noticed that's had an effect. I'm more slumpy, more tired. So I got to go back and buy some more omega-3 trail mix nuts and implement that throughout my day again. Because that's what I noticed. Without that, the energy boost I get from that snack and dark chocolate. So I do a little dark chocolate and those mixed nuts, and that keeps me going throughout the day. I'll do a tangerine, drink plenty of water, like the high level pH water, I drink plenty of milk. I've always drank milk. I've been obsessed with milk since I was a kid. Just a habit that I created when I was little, and I just never broke it. I still drink milk. I drink milk before I drink alcohol. Before I go out in social places and they got alcohol, like, hey, you want a beer? I'm like, no, I'll take a milk. I'll take a milk. You don't have milk? Or I'll take an orange juice. I'll take a water. But I used to kind of get into the whole socializing thing and get a drink, but back in the day. But I was never a big drinker. I hardly drank. And if I did, it was at a bar usually. It'd be like one beer, beer and a half, something like that. But it was, to blend in, I guess. But I stopped doing that and started getting Coke in a glass, specifically in a glass, because that way it looks like a drink and not just a plastic cup. So, but hey, can I get a cup, a real glass with Coke in it, and call it a day? I'll give you $5. Some of them say no, it's okay, but I'll give you $5 for it, and they're like, no, it's no big deal. So I'll drink Coke in a glass throughout my whole time, and so sometimes I'll even say, hey, can you do me a favor? Can you give me a glass of water and just put a tinge of soda in there? So it discolors it, makes the water look a little more, like alcohol. So now I have this cup of glass that looks like alcohol. It's not alcohol. I'm drinking it. It's not. It's just water with a little bit of Coke in it. Not that gross. And, and it just looks like I have a drink. I could get tea, I guess, next time. I could see if I could give me tea. But I just rather not drink alcohol. It's literally poison. It's poison for your brain. It's poison for your body. I don't understand why it's such a prevalent thing. I don't like a lot of people drink every single night. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get it. Oh, they use it to relax. Well, I get that, but are you really relaxing? You're torturing your body with poisons. Are you really relaxing, or are you just killing yourself? You're numbing yourself to the point where you're either blacking out or whatever. But I think a lot of people escape their life. And to be honest, now that my life seems more peaceful, orderly, there's no reason for me to escape my life. Like I'm so filled with joy day to day to day with the gardening and the stuff that I YouTube and the stuff that I do, that I find myself less and less needing to escape. I don't need entertainment. I don't need football. I never did. I mean, basketball was my thing, ice hockey, but I don't need it. Just think entertainment. I need it less and less. It's actually quite interesting that the happier I am with my life, the less of a need I need to escape it. And so I spend less time in, like I said, in escapism. I don't do video games. I don't do any of that. It's fun, but like I said, my life's already fun. I'm doing so many fun things that I don't need to escape it. If anything, I'm just focusing more and more and more on what I want to get done. And it makes me more motivated about my life and more excited about my life. Sometimes fear comes in, but you can't allow fear to win. You can't allow fear to take over your mental state and your thoughts, because then you start to lose. You start walking down that negative path. And the whole point of being productive is staying on the positive side of things. That's how you stay productive. You stay positive. If you need time to rest, then give yourself time to rest. Resting isn't negative. I think abusing the rest and being a sloth is negative, but giving yourself rest when you need it is not a negative thing. Especially if you need to heal from a heartbreak, depression, whatever. I talk about that on my podcast, that there's a time to heal. And unfortunately you can't just push. I've done that for a year, push, and all it did was lead to a huge spin out and me going to psychosis, because I wasn't dealing with the pain and that stuff. I was just ignoring and keep pushing. I was winning, but I wasn't healed. So I spun out of control, and life forced me to heal myself. It forced me to sit down, be still, and to heal myself, and so I did. And this year has been really the year to heal. It hasn't been a year to get out there and grow. Even though my cat's freaking out because the lawnmower's out there. He's trying to get inside because he's freaking out. Anyways, point is that no matter what happens in life, you always have the choice to get back up, to pursue your passions, your joys. That's the whole point. And I did that. And I can attest to it that it's the best thing I ever did was walk away from people that are just being horrible to me, and realizing that I had no choice but to walk away. I didn't want to. I'm not a kind of person who does that, but you realize that you don't have a choice sometimes for your own good and for their good. Everyone's good. You just walk away, you disappear quietly, you work on yourself, and you come back full of surprises. Like I did. I never went away because I'm really good about that. I'm good about staying busy and productive. And a lot of people say, "Oh wow, his work ethic is insane." But I find myself now, it's probably a good idea. I'm okay. I don't need to do the art classes. I don't need to do the shows. I don't need to do this to prove anything to anybody. Like, I've already proved it to myself. So the next step for me, what I'm realizing is I need to turn the page on this chapter, finish my goals this year, and start a whole new chapter next year. It could be anything, and so that's what I'm excited about. And honestly, I kind of already know. I don't want to, and there's actually something big happening in October, but besides the October thing that's happening, next year I have this idea, a big project that I want to do. It's going to be my next movie, essentially, or it could end up being a series. But essentially, that's my focus for next year is actually honing down on this series or movie, and getting it done, because it's got to be excited. It's got to be excited, and I only want to work on a movie that excites me. You know what I mean? That only can get me excited. Anyways, I'm getting out of here. I'm out. For those who joined me recently who don't know who I am, my name is Lasso. LASSO'S Passions. This was a reflection for me to reflect about the day yesterday, reflect about things that happened to me, where I'm coming from and where I'm going, get my mind right, zero in, focus in now. I'm ready to focus in. I'm ready to kill the day, and just boom, I feel really good. It's nice. That's why I think therapy and when you go to a therapist and you talk to them, I think that's why that process of letting things out, not necessarily talking to a therapist, but in the process of letting things out, you feel a lot better. You have a new perspective on things. And that's why I do these things. And some people are like, but it's like, dude, you have no idea how helpful it's been to be able to just talk and not have to go to a therapist and pay hundreds of dollars, you know. And I don't care for the therapist. You know, the camera on the YouTube is my therapist. Me seeing myself, to be able to reflect back and go, oh yeah, this is what I want to improve on. That's therapy. That's therapy right there. And some people comment back, you know, that, you know, what you said helped me out. You know, these things that you say are very interesting. Like I've had many comments, people say things like that. So that's why a lot of times I do it mainly for me, but the fact that other people see value in it is good. I'm glad. It makes me happy. Anyways, I'm out. I probably need to start the noon live gardening here in a bit. So that's the next thing I'm gonna do, and I'll be seeing everybody later. Yeah, CST noon live garden action here in a bit.